Welcome to Boys in the Burgh, the podcast all about Pittsburgh and these boys right here. Hey, if you survived 4th of July weekend, thank goodness you did, because here we are now. My name is Chris Speranza.
Hey, I'm JJ Speranza, and I walked away with all 9 of my fingers.
Yep, that's right. So hopefully you guys have not been shooting off fireworks by yourself, and at least it didn't blow off your ears, because you get to listen to us today as we talk about the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix that happens all around the city of Pitt. I thought it was just Oakland, but JJ, you said you have more. It's more areas.
It sure is. We'll talk all about it.
Sweet. I'm excited to talk about that. But before we get started, we are, since you didn't blow off all your fingers, you can use your finger to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. You can also find us on TikTok and YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube and Spotify. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you are feeling really cute, you should get one of these Boys in the Burgh hats that look fantastic. If you're watching on video right now, I'll move it a little bit closer and then a little bit back. I'm going to give it a little wraparound. So
That's right. We got merch, baby.
So we got merch, and that's going to be on tpublix.com. You should be able to, I'll put a link in the thing below, because every time I try to type it in, I can't find it to save my life, but I promise we exist. So I'll put the link in the show notes that we are on tpublic.com, and you can get shirts, hats, socks, magnets, stickers. Treat yourself, treat yourself, treat yourself. You can get all that stuff right on tpublic.com. And now we have the pleasure of talking about what we did for 4th of July, because I posted about it.
Yeah, that's right. I know for us, we went to the beach most every weekend, or most every day that weekend, which was amazing. We went and saw fireworks in downtown Wilmington. We had a really great time. It was really fun, and it wasn't that hard getting around with all the traffic. So yeah, it was weird. Okay, you had Pittsburgh, which had 3 barges shooting off 1,000 fireworks at one time. We had 2 fireworks shows kind of next to each other, so you could see them both, but they were like regular fireworks shows. So what it looked like in downtown Pittsburgh looked like incredible.
Yeah, and downtown Pittsburgh, it did look incredible. To kind of like briefly recap what we did for 4th of July weekend, we did go to the watch party when USA defeated Bosnia. I know they're not in it anymore, but I figure I'd talk about this. And this was Pittsburgh surviving the heat wave. So imagine being on that soccer field with a blanket out, just beating in the sun the whole time, just watching a soccer game. But it was really fun. I had a really good time. They organized it very well. They had events for kids while the game was happening, and everyone was super into the game. So congrats to losing United States. So congrats there.
It's
And
okay though, because all the players played, Chris.
yes, all the players did play. We made sure of that. That red card didn't mean a thing. And then Belgium just destroyed us. We're not talking about that. For anyone who's still watching, France just beat Morocco 2-0. So,
Whoa.
So they're
2-0.
moving.
Wow.
That's right. So France is moving on to, let's see,
France.
the semifinals. France. They are moving to the semifinals now. So they're my winner. I picked them from the beginning. So I think they're going to take it. So I watched 4th of July fireworks from my house. It was just nice to just kind of look over the hillside and watch professional and what do we want to call it? Like recreational fireworks happening.
Non-professional.
Yes. Leisure fireworks, we should call them.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how these boys right here have the strongest legs in Pittsburgh to run a 5K, not a marathon. The strongest legs in Pittsburgh to run
That's
a
right.
5K. Now, I want to talk about our 5K real quick. It goes along the theme of racing. So, we got to talk about it. I ran a 5K 4th of July morning in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, and you ran a 5K in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Why are you trying to do me dirty like that? Listen, I know you're faster than me, all right?
So here's what happened with mine. So we ran at a place, for people who don't know, it's called Lynch Field. And Lynch Field is just a complex. It's got a bunch of soccer fields and everything. And then up the hill, they got like a bike path. And that's where, most of like you could take that pretty far down. Our 5K, what we did is they teased us. They had us run around a soccer field that was flat, and then they said, "Everybody up the hill." And I went, "What?" So I didn't run up that hill. Like, this was not even a mile in, JJ. Like, it wasn't even close to a mile yet. So I walked up that hill and just continued on, did the whole loop around. I lost to someone who won like first place for best walking race. So there was a walking one and there was a running one. And this guy was just like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Like, his arms were flailing, but I was like, I'm going to try and keep up pace with him. Nope, couldn't happen. It's too fast at walking, not in those shoes.
Not in those shoes, Dan. You beat me to it.
I finished in 34 minutes. So I'm happy for that number because it was not an easy day that day in Pittsburgh. It was hot, very hot. There were some pukers. It wasn't pretty after the race was over.
I was almost one of them in mine down here because it was as hot, if not, I don't know. It seems like it was the same temperature down here as it was in Pittsburgh, but like ours was, it started in front of a movie theater. So as you're getting your shirt and your bat and your stuff, every time someone would open the door, you would just smell popcorn waft in front of you. And it was like, I could be watching a movie. Why am I running? But it was a good time. We actually ran through the woods, which was really cool. At the very end, they got a really, really cool medal. It was just hot, very hot. My time wasn't great, but I finished it and had a great time doing it.
You know what the bullcrap thing is? I never got a medal. And
That hap-
I know we're in a society of participation trophies, but I want my medal. I paid for it. I got a t-shirt, a very nice t-shirt, I will say that. But I didn't even get a medal.
that really stinks. I've done two where I didn't get a medal. One was actually for Mother's Day. I don't know if I talked about this already, but I crossed the finish line and I was like, "Oh, I'm so exhausted. Give me my medal." And they were handing out like roses and mimosas to moms only. And I was like, I'm out of here. And like, they didn't even get to the ceremony. I just got in my car and left.
You just took a mimosa off of a mother, just like,
Did not do that. No.
I worked harder than you ever will in this race, and then just like go into the car.
I bought my own supplies and had my own time afterwards. That's all that matters.
Well, that's good. So, just to let you guys know, 5Ks aren't for everybody. I didn't start running them until just later last year, and I don't know. It's an accomplishment to just know, like, hey, I can put my body through this and still, survive. And so I enjoy 5Ks. I suggest anyone just give it a shot one day because it's only one day.
It's only 3 miles. Like there are marathon is 24 miles or 25 miles. Half marathon is 12 to 13 miles. 3 miles? That's not too bad. You could walk that.
Yeah, so I'm like, when I got done with the 3 miles, I feel like if I kept a good pace, I could have done a 10K, like a really good pace.
I respect that.
I
Maybe
mean by
one day
that
you
is,
will.
what I mean by that is walking more than running.
Maybe one day you will. Maybe you'll be like that guy throwing up his hands and walking that
Ah,
10K.
ooh, ah. Enough of us just flapping our gums about ourselves and giving ourselves a pat on the back. Let's talk about the real people that do the real racing. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix, to which I only thought it was in Oakland because of the very fantastic Rick Seebeck video. There's something about Oakland, and
Which
now
we will break down eventually because we've had the notes for a full year now, but we'll do it eventually.
we will do it. Uh, so you were telling me this is done in more than just Oakland.
The race is done in Schenley Park, but there are other events that take place around the city. What do you so before I have a bunch of notes, I'm gonna read a bunch of stuff from the website. Before I get into all of that, what do you remember from the movie, the Rick Seaback movie where they talked about it?
What I remember is just I don't know. They just showed a bunch of the vintage cars that are being raced, and just uh I don't know how they drive in Schenley Park. It's just because they legitimately race, like, they try to pass each other and everything too. But anybody can participate from what I saw on the video, I think. I don't know if I'm accurate with that, but it seemed like, people who are experienced can participate, as long as they know, like, "Hey, don't wreck these cars."
Yeah, I think it's 19 if your car is a 1986, if I'm mistaken, it has to be a 1986 year car or younger. I'm sorry, or older to be able to participate in the race. And then there's like a, I think $600 registration fee to do it. But I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of like, you just gotta be ready to race your car.
I guess $600 really isn't that much in the grand scheme, since this is a such a traditional race that they do every single year in Schenley Park. And, like, how big is this racetrack? Because Schenley Park is big, but I don't know how long this race goes. I know I
It,
usually throw these questions at you, and you have to do you have to look through your notes real quick. So,
no, no, I got it. Here's actually there's the map if you can see that. And the map is going to show that it goes all around Shenley Park and then kind of comes around to Carnegie Mellon. And the start finish line is at the Phipps Conservatory. And it's 2.3 miles is how long it is.
God, I hope they close off those streets. Because do you know how many people cross that street at Phipps Conservatory? And are just like, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me," and I'm just like, "I need to go. I know I gotta yield for pedestrians, but let me drive."
There is a whole paragraph that I printed out because I thought it was so interesting. Last weekend, or 2 weeks ago, you and I talked about 376 being closed for construction.
Oh, yeah,
And
I'm sorry, they are going to use grease to move the bridge into the place of the other bridge.
push.
Literally, they're literally going to push this bridge into its place. Ah, craziness. Pittsburgh's crazy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. They have a whole paragraph about I-376 Parkway, the Commercial Street Bridge replacement, July 10th through August 3rd. So it's starting the day that the events start for the Grand Prix. So, like, there's a whole paragraph on why they're doing it, how much it's going to cost. And then like a whole nother like paragraph about like different ways to get around the city to Shenley Park. And it's actually pretty impressive, like the lengths they went through to show you, like, hey, listen, this really sucks, but here's why they're doing it, and here's how you can get around it. So I found that pretty cool.
Yeah, and, like, when I used to work in the strip district, no one would let us know. Well, it was up to us, to know, but, like, when they did the Dick's Sporting Goods Pittsburgh Marathon, it was pretty much our responsibility, 1, to know, 2, to get there early enough, and 3, make it to our parking spot so we could get to work at the strip district. And guess what we did whenever we got to the store? Nobody came in because all the streets were closed.
Were any of the restaurants open?
I think some of the places, you had those 1 or 2 stragglers that live in downtown that were just like, "Oh, why is it all closed?" And then just, like, people walking by. Uh, I don't know. The strip district, they have a different mindset. They're like, "You get here and you work." I don't know. Not the life for me anymore.
That's understandable. That is very understandable. Yeah, is it okay if I read off some of the stuff from the website that I found really interesting? It's like like how they describe what this is.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not super long, I promise. But this is from the website. It's from Dan Del Bianco, who is the executive director of the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix Association. The Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix is the nation's largest vintage street race and a premier motorsport festival, blending the excitement of racing with car shows, parties, and parades, all set against the scenic backdrop of Pittsburgh. Now entering our 44th year, the PVGP has earned international acclaim, including back to back finalist honors for Motorsports Event of the Year for 2024 and 2025 International Historic Monitoring or Motoring Awards. So they've been around for a long time and have won awards for how amazing this event is.
No, I believe that, and I forgot about, like, the scenic backdrop. I mean, how many things in Pittsburgh are just iconic because they just have, like, a good background? Shit, our logo has the Pittsburgh background in it for that reason. It's in this hat right here. Like,
It's true. Like, people go to PNC Park specifically to look at the city of Pittsburgh while they watch baseball. But what I found most impressive about this, it is since 1983, they've raised over $7 million to support individuals with autism and intellectual or developmental disabilities, thanks to their passionate volunteers, attendees, and partners. So everything that's raised, all the money for food, all the people who put money towards racing, it all goes toward the Autism and Intellectual or Developmental Disabilities Fund.
good for them. Yeah, that's the one thing that's really nice about. I guess you could say that about any organization. There's no organization that's just like, this money's for me. Like, even like the 5K that I did, it was for like the American Heart Association. So, it's nice that they do something to, kind of help people out.
There's a place up in so I know this is so not a Pittsburgh thing, but there's a place up in Topsail Island that I do my 5Ks at because the turtle hospital's up there where they rescue turtles who are hit by boats, and their 5Ks raise money for them to keep in business.
Wow. Talk about a bump in the road. Am I
Oh,
right?
God. Um,
Ah! Da-da! I can say that I owned a turtle. I owned a turtle, so I can say that.
that's true, and he was a great turtle, little Franklin.
He was a great
Uh,
turtle. Rest in peace. So he
so a
didn't get
couple
hit
cool
by a
things.
car, but he
No,
just
no, he passed of old age, we'll say.
yes, he passed of old age. We will leave it at that. With
Yes,
turtle
definitely.
soup on my mind. No,
I've had turtle soup in New Orleans.
for real? Is it good?
It's not bad. It's really not.
What what what,
Um,
what is in turtle
yeah,
soup? Now we're sidetracked. What's in turtle soup? And then just move on.
turtles. So what no, it's like a brothy, like a tomato brothy soup. I can't explain it because 'cause it's been a couple years since I had it, but, I don't know, man. It wasn't bad. I like trying weird stuff, though.
Me too. Okay, now we'll move on.
Yeah, so the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix has 12 classes of cars this year, 113 total entries ranging from cars from the 1930s to 1987. Okay, so it is 87. So the cars, it's called vintage because all these cars have to be from back in those days. So we're talking about like 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, Jaguars, Fords, whatever, like where gosh, I'm sorry. I have a oh, here we go. So there are car shows that are intertwined with the race, and these cars that are at the car shows, most of them do race. And it is everything from Jaguars, Pontiacs, Ford Broncos, American cars, Asian cars, British cars, mini cars, BMW cars, Porsches, Mercedes Benz, Volkswagens, Audis, European classics, sports cars, Italian cars, and French cars. By the way, each one of those cars have their own car show.
That is First of all, that's impressive how much you just rattled off right there. I know you're reading off a piece of paper, but you didn't fumble one bit. But
Thank you.
but yeah, that is it's like, how so many people are just like, you go to the car show and it's just like, yeah, this is my car. My car does this. This is kind of like a put up and shut up like kind of thing. It's just like you will see how this car looks and you will hear how it sounds and you'll see how it runs.
It's pretty great. I know not all the cars at the car shows are going to race, but a good majority of them are. Like 113 have signed up to race. There's even dude, the coolest thing, there is oh yeah, yeah. So there's an Axis versus Allies race. And the Axis cars, their team are German, Asian, and Italian cars. And then the Ally race is going to be American, British, and French cars, and they race each other.
That is a very, very clever way to incorporate World War II.
It's vintage cars. It's from, like, from the '30s and up, so it's gotta have some World War II stuff in it.
That That is a very clever thing. So it's not just one race. We're gonna go around a couple laps. Do they pass each other? Now that I'm listening to this, I'm like, there's no way they do.
Yeah, not only do they pass each other, but all day that Saturday, that is their qualifying races. So each team getting groups of their class of cars, and they all have to do qualifying to qualify for the main race and to figure out what place that they'll start in. So like it's like the not Indy 500, but it's like watching F1 or IndyCar, just a really really small version of it.
And is Shenley Park? You showed me the path. Did it show on there how many miles this lap is or anything like that?
Yeah, 2.3 miles and 20 turns. One of which I forget what they call it, but it comes down a hill and it goes whoop, 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 and then swings around, and you have to go around a hay bale. It's like in the middle of the road.
Wow. Because I've driven through Shenley Park before. We've all turned on our GPS and it's just like, go this way. And you're like, what the hell am I doing in a park? And it says drive 25 miles per hour, but you go a little bit faster anyways.
It's true. I mean, if you've ever driven past the golf course, that is where the food court's going to be, where the parking's going to be. Oh my! So if you park at the golf course, you can take a free shuttle down to the racetrack track. It's a road course. It's the only vintage road course in America. Actually, I think in the world. But anyway, and maybe just America. But they have a party throne where the cars are parked up there. So even that's considered an event if you park where the other cars are at to get shuttled in.
It sounds like a real fun time. Like I said, it sounds like a combination of a like a Father's Day car cruise, but some of the cars will actually be going. So, and it sounds like it's a lot of fun.
If I find the clip from the something about Oakland video from Rick Seebeck, I'll post it on our Facebook page or what. I'm sorry, I know you say it every week. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, all that good stuff.
We don't use X anymore because X is toxic. So we don't use
That
that.
it doesn't connect to our other stuff.
No, it doesn't connect to our other stuff and technical issues. But
That's
we
right.
don't
Check
use
out our
X.
WhatsApp.
Yeah, check it. uh,
But are you
but
ready for all the events that take place?
yes, there is something I do want to talk about too. But you vamp and talk about that.
Do you want to talk about what you have now, or do you want me to go first?
You go first because I gotta find what it's called.
Oh, you make fun of me for looking at my notes. All right, so there are 14 events that take place over the next couple of days here, starting on July 11th at the Carmen Science Center, not Carnegie, but
Not
Carmen Science
Carnegie.
Center.
Mm-mm.
So it's Black Tie and Tailpipes Gala. So it's the formal gala, must attend summer celebration featuring exceptional automobiles, fine dining, all that good stuff. It kind of kicks everything off. But there is an immersive experience that dives into physics and technology of the world's fastest machines, competing with a thrilling two-story electric kart track.
Okay, I was researching my thing. And I'm gonna ask, and I'm sorry for people listening. Is that in the sports center section, or is that in like the sports complex, or is that in like the actual science center?
Well, I do not know. I've never been to it. I don't know how they set that up.
I feel like it would be in the science center, like where, like when we saw like the giant uh thing in the science center is a giant needle on a long string.
Yeah, I could see that being around that area.
Yeah, I can see it being around that area. Just like you put your head into the fish thing of just like, oh, let's see what the fish see. You're just like you see a car going by.
It's like, but that starts it all off, and it's from July. Actually, it starts July 10th technically, but the events don't start till the 11th, all the way through to the 18th and 19th. It is, dude. What is it? Today's July 9th, so this all starts in like 2 or 3 days. So just throwing it out there. You have days to get down there if you want to do one of these things. Like, okay, in Houston, Pennsylvania, which is near Pittsburgh, the kickoff rally at Dual Devil's Garage. So that's like, and each of these events have an icon. Like each one is like an icon from like the 1980s that they use. But it's like This is like a scenic country roads, part driving tour, part scavenger hunt. It's like a casual hangout, and then, like, there's food and stuff like that. So Houston, Pennsylvania has that.
Never heard of
Uh,
Houston before.
if I had my phone, I'd show you, but it's close by, not super close, but it's close. Walnut Street Invitational, that's July 13th. Walnut Street Invitational is on the in Shady Side on Walnut Street, and it's basically a car show.
Neat.
So we got a car show there. It's invitation cars are by invitation only, so, like, you can go check them out, but the cars are, like, specifically going there for a reason. In Sewickley on July 14th, there's the Sewickley Stampede and Roundup, which again, it's in downtown Sewickley. You got, like, car show, you got food, you got, stuff at, like, the hotel and Rosa's Cantina, so lots of good stuff going on there. Um, is it okay if I keep going?
Yeah, doesn't bother me.
We're halfway through, I promise. You're doing great, dude. The waterfront. So if you want to go to the waterfront on July 14th, there's a show at the waterfront, and where there's going to be food, music vendors, a car show. You can donate $10 if you want to per car to go and participate in it. But waterfront has a car show. Downtown Pittsburgh has a car show at Schenley Park. So, like, on July 15th, the next day, you can go to Schenley, and, like, they'll have some stuff set up there. There's a tune-up party, which is tune-up. That
Was
one's at
everyone
Southside
changing
Works.
everyone changing spark plugs? Like, is that is that what the tune-up party is like?
Hundreds of vehicles gather for a fabulous car show. It's right next to the Cheesecake Factory at Southside Works.
Damn. But from the poster that you sent me, the race is on Saturday though, right?
No, the race is on Sunday. The qualifying is on Saturday.
Okay. So Sunday, July 12th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No. No, no, no.
So
Because
the
the
event
12th is the kickoff rally. I think, 19th. The 19th is the actual race.
Okay, I'm getting my weeks messed up. I'm basically just like I have something going on this weekend and I'm just like trying to think when's the race happening? I don't remember.
Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Okay, okay. So that's good to
But
know.
But you got car shows everywhere. There's a countryside tour on July 16th that drives through the Laurel Highlands. Like, wait, where you end up at the countryside tour? Jameson Farm in the Laurel Highlands. So, like, even if you're out way out there, you can be a part of this. You know, it's, oh gosh, so cool. There's a Grand Prix garden party at Phipps Conservatory on July 16th, and that's whenever everyone finally comes to the conservatory and starts to be at home base. July 17th is an evening of speed. That's like the driver reception. Everyone's getting their stuff ready. It's like a little thing for the drivers. On the 18th is the Schenley Park car show and races. So on the 18th, they're getting ready for the big race. It's on that next Saturday. Um, Lots of great stuff going on there because qualifying is a whole day of just watching cars race. I know it's not the big race, but it's still a fun one. And then also on the 18th is the Schenley Park car show. Oh my gosh, I said that already. Patron parking and Schenley Park race day on the 19th. So that's the big one.
This is the Indianapolis 500 then it sounds like. It sounds like
Or
it is
Pittsburgh, yes.
for Pittsburgh. It is a spectacle of just a week-long event, kind of like how they do in Indianapolis. I'm sorry if you guys have to hear us talk about Indianapolis a lot. It's the only thing we have to go off of. And it just sounds like it's something that is, you know, historical and there are traditions it sounds like and they follow to it and yeah, it sounds incredible. I mean, I might have to, you know, stay at home the entire weekend like I usually do and just miss every single bit of it.
I tried looking up to see if it would be televised because I would love to watch this on TV, but I couldn't find anything on it. So hopefully, like, their YouTube channel has something.
Yeah, I wonder if they have like past races because like, you know, we're in 2026. They had to have like filmed at least one of the races, but I don't know. We'd have to check out YouTube and see what there is.
Can say that, and I sat there and counted each one. There are 85 sponsors this year, and I guess there are always that many sponsors. And that includes Caliente Pizza, Rivers Casino, Helltown Brewing, Pennsylvania Lottery, Gammon Science Center, Waterfront Yingling, Pittsburgh Parts Conservatory, like, and then, like, you know, the cars. It's sponsored by Jaguar and Mercedes-Benz. Like, this is a huge event. It's so
It
cool.
it does, you don't get that many sponsors on accident. Like, you you've definitely it has built up, and it's just so funny because going back to the Rick Seebeck video that we watched, it doesn't it might have been because it was filmed that long ago, but it didn't seem like it was that crowded. It just seemed kinda like family traditional, and it sounds like within the time of that video being filmed, it's grown massively bigger.
They're expecting 100,000 spectators, not people working or driving, spectators.
I wonder if you could bring a cooler and, bring beer just like how we do for Indy.
They did in the 90s, according to Rick Seebeck.
It was
Um,
lawless back then.
yeah, man, I don't know if you'll get a chance to go or if you can go to one of these cars if you're even into that, but it looks like if you people out there are into it, listen, I don't want to brag, but there are 5 drivers from North Carolina that are going to be there, so that's kind of cool.
Also, now that you told me about the race and the events, which I think sound phenomenal, have you ever seen how a Formula One driver, like trains?
It's insane because they have to train their neck to handle the G forces.
Yeah, and there's like a guy, he's like taking the steering wheel and going like this the whole time. I feel like that's where you get that. Like they don't look big, but they have that dad strength. You know what I mean? Just like I didn't know he was this strong. Like,
Well, picture this, Indy cars do not have power steering. So could you imagine going 230 miles an hour with no power steering? That's insanity to me.
yeah, those drivers, they train like crazy. Like I don't know what do they do? They just take a take like a rope and like put like a 45-pound weight on there, and they're just like, "Ah!"
They take a band and they put it on the side. There's like a bunch of different exercises for this, but the one I saw, they take a band and then somebody stands there on the other end and pulls it, and they just have to keep their neck straight while they're pulling on it.
Ugh. Being an athlete sounds tough. I'm glad we just run a 5K. I'm just like, we just run a 5K. I see like a child running by me. I'm like, fine, you get this one.
Oh, there was one really cool thing I wanted to bring up, and that is actually I wanted to ask you before I bring it up. Have you ever heard anything about the Panther Hollow Bridge?
Panther Hollow Bridge. No, no, I haven't.
Does it sound familiar at all?
No.
All right, so Panther Hollow Bridge is the bridge that leads you to Phipps Conservatory, and it has 4 panthers, bronze panthers on each side. So 2 on one side, 2 on the other side. And
Not
oh
real, right?
no,
I don't know. It's just like they have 4 panthers. They always have them in there. They feed them
whoa, whoa! I said bronze.
and break glass in case of emergency and just let them loose.
Not quite, no. But, it's really cool because the original creators of this race, they were in Schenley Park, and this is after Mary Schenley, I think was her name, like, originally donated it to the city. They were in Schenley Park driving around, and they were like, "Wow, hold on, I'm sorry, Mary Schenley was, like, 1800s." This was, like, in the '80s, so 1980s, 81 too. They're driving around Schenley Park and went, "This would be a great place to do a race." And just to show off Pittsburgh and the beauty of Schenley Park. And it all started at that Panther Hollow Bridge because underneath it, they had just built a lake called Panther Hollow. I think it's called Panther Hollow Pond or Lake or something like that.
I Now that you say that, it does sound familiar. There's like an offshoot road that's called like Panther or something, and it always takes me the wrong way. So that does sound familiar.
Yeah, but the bridge is really cool. It was closed in 24 and 25 for construction because it was built in 1897. And, after 40 years of race cars going over it, they were like, we should probably try and fix this thing. So for 2 years, they actually had an uphill thing they had to do, like a hill climb, instead of doing the Panther Hollow. And this year, they're going back to the original racetrack that it was back in the 80s. So it's a really big year. It's going to be a really fun year.
Good for them. Now this leads us to another big thing to talk about. They do a Formula One race in downtown Las Vegas every single year now. What would a race, not in Shenley, what would a race in downtown Pittsburgh look like? What do you think that? w- uh, I have some ideas, but if you want to start, you can.
I mean, I've seen Sarver, Pennsylvania. I've seen their racetrack there. I think we've only ever seen like dirt tracks. I don't. There does Racetown have one, or is there a like a? I feel like in the outer Pittsburgh area, there's a regular racetrack somewhere, but I've only ever seen dirt ones, and those ones bring in some fun characters. So I can't even imagine what the downtown Pittsburgh one would look like.
Oh no, I'm talking about like if we took the streets of Pittsburgh and turned that into a racetrack. That's what I mean.
Oh,
That's what
ooh,
I mean. I'm picturing in my mind, just to help you out a little bit, I'm picturing the race starts as soon as the drivers. Here's how I think would happen: put the drivers side by side each other, right? And they're going through the Squirrel Hill Tunnel.
oh no, oh no.
That's it. That's how the race starts. And the minute they get out of the tunnel, it's boom, they go. And they just got to figure it out from there. You have to get people that are not from Pittsburgh because some people will be like, oh, I could just pass this person on the right side. And then they end up going up an exit ramp to Boulevard of the Allies. And they're like, no, they get and then like a Super Mario thing like comes down, grabs him, and puts him back on the track.
Have you watched an F1 race before, Chris?
No, and they keep going, and uh, all I know is the race should end with them going through the Fort Pitt Tunnel. That's what I think. That should be the big ending right there. Is just them all trying to figure it out.
So I'm down for that, but if we were doing it like IndyCar F1 style, it would be a loop. So we'd have to somehow loop it back through those tunnels, and I don't know if there's a way to do that without going 100 miles out of the way. Be
Or
like, I
maybe
made the turn and I'm on my way to Erie.
I know. That's just how big the racetrack is. You have to like you if you want to make a giant loop, like you go from the Squirrel Hill Tunnel to the Fort Pitt Tunnel, and then all of a sudden you gotta make a giant loop to the other side, and everyone's got to stop at like a Sheets or something as their pit stop.
That's outstanding. A sheets? That took me way too long.
Their pit stop is sponsored by Sheets, and they just keep going, and then there does have to be some kind of incorporation of like, you can go from the Boulevard of the Allies pretty much all the way to downtown. I mean, you can make that work.
I mean, you could do something like start at Southside Works and then I don't know if there's enough room though. Like let's say for instance it's like mini car. So this let's just say it works, whatever. You could start at Southside Works and go down through Station Square and through I'm sorry, no, hold on, back it up. Start at Station Square, go down the south side, go to the Hot Metal Bridge in Southside Work, go across that bridge and then somehow loop your way through downtown and then back over again to yeah, Southside. I don't know. Somehow it works.
And then you end in the North Shore, and all the drivers drive straight into Acrisure Stadium. And they said, where are all the trees at? They could have stopped all these cars, but they cut down all the trees for the draft. So there's no trees to stop them.
Is that a thing?
What, the trees being cut down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you about that a long time ago for the draft episode.
God, that's right. I forgot about that. People are
Yeah,
weird, man.
yeah, I know. Uh, so that is how I think a race in downtown Pittsburgh should go. Sounds like we got a solid plan.
I think we have a plan of sorts for sure.
So the
Yeah, man. I'm really
oh
excited for this big race though.
I got one more thing since I feel us getting to the end. For all you Mannerites, people who live in Manor, Pennsylvania, have you heard about this? This kind of goes along the lines. Union Pacific's Big Boy number 4014, the world's largest operating steam locomotive, is on a cross country tour and is driving through Manor on Saturday, July 11th.
What? Oh, I saw that online. That's
Oh.
exciting. Can you ride it?
No, you can't ride it. You just watch it go by and you like wave like they're leaving on the Titanic. Like that's literally all you do.
So it's like the monks who are walking from one side of the country to the other.
Yes, pretty much. So I am going. I won't. Of
You're
course,
going to go see it.
of course, I probably can't make time to go down to see like the vintage cars, but I will go 2 minutes down the street to see a train go by, and for some reason, we'll get 45 minutes of content out of that.
I just picture you like the Grinch, where he goes to call a taxi and it just drives by. You just being like, don't know
Because
why.
I'm green, isn't it?
That is, I would like to see a locomotive that size go over the little Manor Bridge that separates Harrison City from Manor. That would be really, really interesting to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sight to see. I will say that. And for the people who don't know it's coming, like they're gonna be driving under the bridge and be like, "Holy moly!"
Dude, I gotta bring this up. Our listener Adam brought this up, and two things, because I have to bring this up because he had mentioned this, and I'm sorry, Chris, because I know you don't really care about this. But one, let's also remember that there was a tornado in Punxsutawney, and Punxsutawney feels okay. I heard back from his representatives, feels good. So I just want to throw that out there first.
He can't die. He'll stop the tornado. Like,
Yeah, I control the weather, dude.
yeah, he controls the weather. Like,
Like,
it can't affect him, JJ. He is a superhuman to weather, JJ. Like, he, he's like, I saw my shadow, and then the tornado went away. I don't know what happened.
do you ever see that thing of like the aliens that are like, so the this gopher is, yes, he's omniscient. Yeah. And the aliens are like, what?
Okay, so he's alive. Thank God. Or else
Groundhog,
Gus
yes.
would have to be the new groundhog.
Oh god, please don't. The second most famous.
I'm sorry. Continue.
It's like he's like the, oh my god, you know what, never mind. Okay, so second, I was at, on Permane Brothers, they say the second bestseller is the Permane Brothers sandwich, and everyone's like, oh well, obviously that's the best one. What's number one though? Anyway, um, number two, we have to mention Anthrocon.
Was that the furries?
It is, and it is this month.
Oh man, them furries. I don't know much about it. I really don't. All I know is just people kind of dress up in outfits of animals and are like, I'm a fox. And but it sounds like they're a fun time. They sound like the Scottish people in Boston. Like they bring a good time with them.
From what my research showed, man, they raise a lot of money for charities, and they do a lot of stuff with that when they're in Pittsburgh. So,
We
like,
like that. We do.
kudos to that. I'm not a huge fan of whenever people are like, "I'm an actual dog," and just poop in front of you, and I'm like, "No, I'm not cool with that." But like the people who like do it for sane reasons, like, yeah.
You
Sorry,
know,
I don't know if you're ready for that.
as anyone would. No, they're a good time. They're a good time. They're good to have around. Not gonna lie, it's like it's definitely a culture shock at first. You're just like, What is this?" But then you get to know them, and they're just like, "My name's Sly the Fox," and you're like, "Oh, cool, nice to meet you, Sly." And it's always fun.
That's right. Swipe or no swiping. That-
Now,
I'm
does Adam, our listener, does he dress up as an animal?
No, but he is a Pokemon lover. So I just wanted to pass that information on to you that, very, very into Pokemon.
Hmm. I'll talk to you more off camera. No one wants to hear about the trading card collection I got going on. So no, we can move on from that.
I mean, I do, but we'll talk about that off air. Yeah.
Yeah. But anything else you want to add on to this? Anything that anyone else should know about this at the last second, or one more way to hype them up to get off their couch and go to downtown Pittsburgh?
Yeah, man. You're not even in downtown Pittsburgh. You're in Schenley Park. Downtown is like, I forget, maybe like a mile or two away. So like you're away from all the riffraff and everything, or not riffraff, but like away from that craziness. There are shuttles to take you to the event. It's cars, it's vintage, it's gasoline, it's everything you would want in a fun week, and you have an entire week to pick a day to go. So like that major kudos. I hope you guys make it. If you do, shoot us some pictures. We want to know how it was, how you did. I guess International Jaguar Festivals this year too, from the 16th to the 18th, and it's taking place at Schenley Park. So like, come on now, there's just so much going on.
Yeah, and you know how you guys would also look awesome going there? If you go and you buy our merchandise and wear that downtown,
You'd
that
look
would be
sweet,
cool. That would
and
be a
people would be
cool.
like, "What's that hat for?"
Not gonna lie, I wore this hat during the 5K, and I wore it when I went to the Riverhounds watch party. Not gonna lie, this hat right here got nobody's attention. No, not one single person asked about it.
We every time you went to get a beer, were you just like, "Thank you, young man," like tip your hat to them, and they're like, "Weirdo, here you go."
Okay, so there was a part of the 5K where it looped around and they had a photographer there. So I went like this, like I put my head down and held my hat so I can get them catching a photo of it. And then like I went to look into the photos thing, like on the website afterwards. Not one photo of me is is on the website. And I'm like, damn, my promotional stuff. How dare they me use someone else's free labor to, to get promotional footage?
I mean, in all fairness, it's definitely not free. We got to pay for every one of these 5Ks.
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, everyone should go down to Schenley Park and check it out. So
Or go to
and
Manor, go watch the big train.
yeah, go watch Train. We like Train. So you can come watch the big train, or go to what's it called? Anthrocon. I always mess it up.
Anthropology?
And yes, go to Anthropology
Anthrocon. I think I think it's Anthrocon, yeah.
and check out the furries. So everybody, packed weekend. Get down to Pittsburgh. And I've been Chris.
I've been JJ. We'll see you guys next week.
And we'll see you real soon.